We'll get there eventually. Hello.
Oh, there we go. Wow.
We did it.
So, if anybody's wondering, usually Josh does the broadcast part, which I used to long ago. Of course, I do my own streams, but with guests and stuff, with the console calibrating stuff.
Yeah,
I haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah, I feel that. You're good.
I loaded a profile, but I forgot it came from Josh. So of course, it doesn't have my audio settings. So,
whatever.
Oh, that looks balanced enough. That's okay. They can.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll work.
Didn't have music. Still not. We're not gonna have it when we close. It's just gonna go to a scene that says nothing.
Great.
Right? It's whatever, baby. You know.
Yeah, that's right. This is about video games. That's what's up.
Yeah, this is some production
improvisation. Let's go.
Yeah, production jazz is what I like to call it. You know.
Production jazz. That's so good.
Okay, I think I need that. I haven't even sat and thought about, this is going to be a little different for me. Where do I want all my windows so I can see things happen?
Yeah, I'm still figuring that out.
Oh, that's good. That's above my face. I need something just so I'm at least keeping eye-ish contact with the camera. God, whatever, man. Hey, how's everybody going? I'm gonna go
internet.
Right into this. Welcome to Catch All Podcast, the water cooler for constantly calibrating, where we talk about our gaming experience and sometimes the news. Hey, I'm your host, Justin Stanley, and with me is the first of my list of guest co-hosts, Kam Konek. Welcome, man.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
This is a fun episode. So if anybody just tuned in, this is your first episode, my co-host used to be Josh Silverman at Bear Punch. But life changes. We're changing.
Yeah, rest in peace, Josh.
Yeah,
Can't believe it.
I got changed my intro.
Just kidding. No, Josh is alive. Josh is very much alive.
Physically, not on the inside. He's been dead on the inside a long time ago. But yeah. The whole welcome to the Catch All Podcast, a water cooler for constantly calibrating. I'm going to have to change that.
We'll get there. It's fine. Production jazz.
Production jazz. It's not changing yet, though. If anybody knows, we actually are shutting constant calibrating down, but the catch-all will live on through Beer Punch Media and whatever happens out there. We'll see. I was totally on nerves because I haven't hosted a show like this in a while, especially with, guests. Josh usually handles that. I was nervous. I'm let's just cancel it.
We're done.
Got the nerves, but now since we're here, and with familiar face, Kam.
Hey,
we know each other. I'm a little bit more at ease, and then I totally forget how I do this show.
Hey, whatever.
I think I just talk about video games.
Great.
I probably should explain how the dock works. It doesn't. It's just there for reference.
Great. Cool. I'm just gonna close it. We're done.
I'm not gonna go in that list. I might throw it to you randomly. Who knows?
Great.
But yeah, we talk about games, and one thing that hit me lately. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it hit everybody. The Witcher craze. I'm still playing The Witcher 3. Now I have it on PC. That's where I prefer to play. But I want to see if I get 1,000 points. Well, first I want to see if I can get a platinum trophy in this game. Then I load the PlayStation version up. And then I realized it's free on Game Pass on Xbox. Let me see what it looks like on Xbox One X. That looks performs way better. I'm gonna play it here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I didn't want to sit on my computer. I wanted to just chill on the couch and play it.
Sure.
And then I got obsessed with it. I put 200 and something hours in that game to start with. I don't know how many hours I put into it too, because I only got that through the GOG timer. Xbox doesn't tell you, and the game itself doesn't tell you. But I'm to the point where I beat the main game. I got through Heart of Stones, and now I'm at Blood and Wine again. God, it's a lot of Witcher. It's so much Witcher.
That's a lot of Witcher.
And I'm knocking out these achievements too, dude. It's crazy.
More power to you, man. I certainly couldn't do it. I've tried multiple times to get into Witcher 3. I really just think that game isn't for me, and I'm kind of bummed out about it.
That's nice way to play it. I mean, we got friends like John or DGC who just dump on that game all day. I don't want to dump on that game, and that's not what this is for. This is to celebrate games, but yeah,
I don't want to dump on it because I know it's a really good game. It's just that okay, I am going to dump on it. That game controls like dog shit.
How long has it been since you played it?
Oh man, so I played it. I have tried off and on for the past couple of years. I bought it on my PS4. It's just kind of sitting there. I leave it installed because I'm just like, oh, maybe I'll get back to it eventually.
I'll suggest this. I do not know why they didn't put this as default. So they know the controls are bad. They know they're twitchy. I mean, it just doesn't help the game completely in the controls. But if you go to the options, there's something that says alternative movement control. Turn that on. That's the patched in version, which gives you a little more fine control over it. Roach is still a nightmare, but everything else, it's better. I don't know why they didn't put that as default after they patched it in, but so
that's interesting. Yeah, okay. I might have to check that out.
Turn on. Yeah, let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I might fire that up.
So that's what I recommend for folks. But yeah, bump up to Blood and Wine. I got nothing else to talk about that. People have heard me talk about The Witcher all day long. So, Cam, I'm gonna throw one over to you, man. What's something you're getting to right now?
So let's see here. God, I've been playing a lot. I guess the big thing, and it's not really so much of a game, but more of gaming, is I did that thing that everybody does where, you realize, okay, well, I have like a lot of games that I need to play. I want to start just kind of like working down my backlog, trying to figure that stuff out. What if I just bought an Xbox instead? Yeah. What if I just bought an Xbox? So I bought an Xbox.
Okay.
So I got I did the Xbox All Access program, which is that like 2-year contract, no interest rate. Like I did the Xbox One S all digital because I don't really give a shit about like super high fidelity having the best running anything. I just want to play my games.
I do sometimes.
And it's like, it's like I totally get it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell people they shouldn't do it, but it's just not really something for me. But I really like it took me a while to kind of get that going. It's like a weirdly complex process. To kind of get that right now, if you want to do the all access thing, which is a pretty good deal because it, I guess backing up the Xbox All Access thing is they will ship you an Xbox and it comes with 2 years, as long as you're paying on that contract, of Game Pass Ultimate, which essentially gets you Game Pass on the PC and the Xbox and Xbox Live Gold, long as you're still paying that.
The all access, this is kind of like you bought this from Microsoft themselves. It's kind of like their almost rental plan for an Xbox and everything?
It's totally like it very much feels kind of like a phone plan, how you like lease a phone on top of like what you're paying on top of it. This way it's just like a lot more affordable since it doesn't really have the like versatility of use as a phone, and there's like they are trying to honestly get more people bought into that ecosystem, and for me it clearly worked. But I've been really digging that a lot. I straight up would pay $20 a month flat for Game Pass, and now I got like the box to play it with, and I can play online with people, and I got a controller with it, and it's great.
They did such a good job of getting everybody a chance to get like the whole experience, like and like they did. And so you know how some people, let's say like a satellite company or something like that, like you've been with them for a while, but they offer like people who haven't been there with like the awesome deal coming up. And you're like, I wish I didn't have it because that'd be great. But no, like Xbox actually took Game Pass. Like everybody who already had Xbox Live, there was one point they're like, just for $1.
Yeah, just give us $1. That's all we want, and we'll just bump you up.
The rest of your Xbox Live time to Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, pretty much. It's an absolute hell of a deal because I was just looking through the Game Pass libraries. So like my it is absolutely insane. Like I'm really just kind of surprised at the amount of value that's packed into that thing. And my Xbox also came with like, here's a digital download code for Minecraft and Sea of Thieves. So I own both of those now, but also they're on Game Pass, which is what I was paying for with that console, which I thought was funny, but whatever. It took me a little bit to actually purchase it, which I thought was a little weird. I think the system could use a little bit more fleshing out because they do like you have to apply for a line of credit through a credit agency or like an underwriting thing. And you have to go through and do all of that. And the first time I applied for it was like a soft pull, so it didn't actually affect a credit score. But the first time it was just like, hey, your stuff doesn't match what pulls on your credit report, so we're just going to deny you. And then I applied the next day with the exact same information. They're like, yeah, cool, you're in. Great. I'm like, cool.
All right.
But then it took like another day after that for the like line of credit that they set up in order like to be able to be used on Amazon to buy it. And then it like took like a day and a half to get here. But it was a little bit more complicated than I think it needed to be. I've seen some people online venting kind of those same frustrations.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is...
You're like trying to target somebody to get in your ecosystem, but they make it difficult, especially for somebody that's not familiar with just...
And I don't think it's really... I don't think it is Microsoft's problem at all. It's very clearly like the way Amazon works with like setting up that line of credit. Like it set it up as like, oh, here's like an extra like card that you get to use and you make a payment with that, but then you set it up online on a different site and they walk you through all that stuff. But sometimes it just breaks for no reason. And it was very confusing. Also, just being a millennial who has never purchased anything in my life of value, the phrase line of credit and applying for that, I was like, oh, this is intimidating because I'm like maybe 40% sure I know what these words mean, but we're good. So,
and like people are like, you don't know. It's like, there's tax experts and credit experts that exist. Yeah. They went to school for that. Of course I don't know. Why would I know?
Right. Yeah. You throw a bunch of words at me, I'll probably, sure. Great. I definitely accept these terms and conditions. What are you talking about?
My liver? Sure, I guess.
Right, yeah. So I've been, I got that. It's been great. Excuse me. I did the thing that pretty much everybody does when they get an Xbox, and I just downloaded the Master Chief Collection.
That's a good start.
It's a great start. I played the hell out of Halo 3, and a little bit of 4, a lot of Reach, a lot of ODST, but I'd never actually played through the campaigns of 1 and 2. So I am just starting from the beginning and just playing through all of those right now. And I'm like 4 or 5 missions into Halo 1 just because I've been hilariously busy otherwise. And that game's good. Still good. That game's still real good.
Still solid.
Surprising literally nobody.
I need to get back to it because I tried to do like every Halo that came out. I tried to beat on Legendary. I don't know if I got achievements for it.
I'm just playing on normal because I don't hate myself that much yet.
No, and I do. I'm a master.
I'll get there. I will get there. Yeah, don't worry. There's like achievements for doing Legendary All Skulls On for every mission in all of the Halo games, and fuck that. Not about that. So
I didn't say 1,000 pointed, but actually no, I did do that in Halo 3. But don't worry about it.
All right.
Hold on, I got a badass here. But Game Pass is cool stuff. Like, actually, I need to boot up the app on the PC to see what rolls out because, like, Game Pass works on both PC and Xbox. Of course, the library is a little different. But the stuff they do, like Play Anywhere, is awesome, especially for someone like me. That's like, I want that couch experience, but sometimes I want to stream it. I don't want to carry all the Xbox in here. But you can just turn it on and download your save right where you go, and it's not as complicated as other places do it, because like some things, like say early PlayStation is you have to actually go pick the option and download your latest. Xbox just does it, like it just syncs.
Yeah, like I remember whenever like PS3 and 4 and Vita cross-buy was a thing, and they were like rolling out The Binding of Isaac, and it was like a big PlayStation Plus game. Well, I thought I owned that on PS4 because I got it on Vita, but you had to like go through and like purchase each instance of that game, which I thought was weird.
I just got you send me Blam saying play Ori on Game Pass. Actually, interesting thing. I just picked up Ori for Switch because I heard that it's one of the few games that have Xbox achievements integrated into it on Switch. I think it's that.
I think they're on Minecraft also. Yeah, because I definitely got some Minecraft achievements on my Switch, which was fucking weird. But it was cool. Like, it's neat that they are allowing that. Like,
I was gonna say, like, did it go? Bloop? It's like a dog that wakes itself up. After
it made the noise, and I'm like, "What the fuck? I am holding a Nintendo product. This is wild."
Come on, Satan! No,
just throw it out the window.
Just something weird's going on here.
That's right.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, game is just so great, people. Game is fun. So I don't know why I wrote a DBZ Kakaraki, but I've been playing some more Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Kakaraki is good.
What's your experience with Dragon Ball, period?
Okay, not hugely. I watched it whenever it was, I think, airing. I don't know. That time is a blur. Back in like the Toonami heyday.
That's okay. It's more to Josh. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, to give some people reference who at least know the show-ish, I'm up to the Cell games now.
Okay. Yes.
I'm about to get in that.
Cell games fucking rule.
They do. Like how the game works. Like it kind of like it. This game's so I want to love it. And there's parts where I super appreciate this game, but like the pacing of it is weird as hell. Like, there's some parts of the story they skip. There's some parts of the story I realized they skipped because they didn't want to make a different moveset for somebody.
Yeah.
For instance, Trunks. So there's a point in Dragon Ball Z where he fights the androids. He puts his sword down, cracks it. He no longer uses it. The part's not covered in the story on here. We got salt for something. I didn't know this was appear. What the? Josh, what do we have going on? Am I supposed to have that on? Anyways. So that part doesn't happen, but it does make Trunks not have a sword all of a sudden. But when you're fighting, he has all his sword moves, and the sword just...
Oh, that's weird.
Magically appears like, oh, there's a sword. Now it's not. And I realized, they probably realized that, and they want to make a different moveset for him. So there's a point where he's like wearing the Saiyan armor about to fight Cell for the first time after he gets perfect. They just cut all that part out. So they're like, oh no,
right,
it's Trunks. Yeah. It's like saying, and Trunks fought him, and then it goes like over. So
just like, oh hey, and this happened. Moving on, we're just gonna go over here.
But there's just like you could just drive a car around for some reason. I mean, it's great.
Sure.
Like I had Piccolo and had Gohan with me, and then it's like, oh, Piccolo's gonna drive this car. And like everybody has their own pose in the car too. So Piccolo's just there, making a Piccolo like face, and Gohan's just like hanging out the window. I'm like, this is so
That's
cute.
Great.
Look at this father and son combo.
It seems to me, just because I haven't actually picked that game up myself, so I can't really speak a ton to it, but just from like the gameplay stuff that I've seen like a good portion of like the Frieza saga just like being played by people. I've seen like a little bit of the Cell saga, but that game seems like they had some really cool fan service ideas, but I don't know if it kind of warranted like that type of game, if that makes sense. Like it seems very weird to me. There's a lot of strange choices that were made in that. Like I think the fact that you have to win fights, but then like the moment after you win a fight, your character just gets fucking murked in a cutscene.
Yes.
Like that's so weird to me. Like it just completely takes you out of the experience. Cause I would imagine like one of the things that is like this thing that draws you to the Dragon Ball like games in particular is just, I want to be fucking cool. I want to be this cool badass with giant yellow hair and shoot lasers out of my hands. And then you can be really cool and you beat up this boss and then they just slap your hand and then you just die.
It did. You have to get stronger so you can come back and beat him.
Yeah,
that's right. The whole Dragon Ball storyline. Girlfriend Reviews did a nice recap of every Dragon Ball Z storyline. But yeah, that's just it. That's all it is. That's cool. And like, this is oh man, I forgot what's the production is, but it seems like every Bandai Namco anime game, the comment feels the same about, well, it's the same formula. Like, it looks super flashy cool, but it's simple as crap, but oddly deep when you want it to be.
Yeah.
Like, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot tells you nothing about the fighting system other than, here's the basic stuff. This is what it basically does. But like, for instance, I just found out how to like, when you're fighting the computer, like they'll get a point where like they get back, start getting red. You can't hit them, or like they just take your hits and they come out with a move. I finally figured out how to disrupt that, which the game never told me. What am I, like 21 hours into the game?
And you like just figured that out. Oh boy.
18 hours into the game, I found out there's actually combo finishers.
Oh, cool.
I was like,
great.
It's not just BBBBB. I can do BBBBY. He does something.
What?
Like, if you do it with Y, like, he'll do a little burst and get a little bit of your key back. It's great. I just didn't know. Now, is it in the game somewhere? Yes, the tutorial. Does it ever tell you that exists? No. Like, at all.
Great.
Like, actually went through the tutorial, through all the fighting stuff. Like, I didn't know I could do half this stuff.
That's really, that's a bummer.
It's not
like something like that. If there is like a deep fighting system in a Dragon Ball game, that's something that I would be drawn to. Because like if you pull off like super complicated, cool shit, then that just makes you feel like a fucking Dragon Ball character.
It does,
and that's kind of what that's all about.
You still can. I got to the point where it's kind of an art form with some of the fights, because some get difficult. For the most part, they're kind of simple. Like you could definitely overload stuff. Like there's no reason to grind that game whatsoever, because the grinding you do is like you get such a little XP for it. And there are also these orbs you have to get to put into like your movesets and skills like that. But you get more from just doing the main story than you would from running rounds. Like there's absolutely no reason to grind. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'm like a little more easier on it because like the game I played before this or had a fun fight tutorial of it is Shenmue 3, which like literally a screen pops up to tell you it's like this is how you fight, but it just is like, hey, push square, X, triangle, or circle. Try R2 sometimes. Have fun.
Just press a button. Just see what happens. Like I could have figured that out myself.
That's
you
pretty
didn't
much
have to tell me.
It like it did like I paused it and find out like this. Oh well, this fight is like actually way deep, but it did not give me any hint of that.
That's hilarious.
I think I actually have a picture of it somewhere. I gotta tweet it out.
That's very good. That is maybe one of my favorite fighting tutorials I've ever heard of. Just the idea of like, hey, just fucking press a button. Like, okay, cool, great. I'm gonna play a fighting game. Yeah.
Oh man! So,
I love that.
That's that. Oh gosh. So I see you played Risk of Rain 2.
I love that game.
It's like now, I played the first one. I haven't played the second one, but I understand the second one's like completely different. Well, it's more of like 3D than it is a side.
It is 3D 4-player co-op. If you want it to be, I've only ever played it solo. I streamed a little bit this past week, and it's just a blast. That game is so Risk of Rain 1 and 2 are like have this really cool mechanic. They're roguelikes, so they're very much like short games, but like once you get to the end, you either win or you die and you start over. So it's like very much run focused, which it really appeals to me. I fucking love roguelikes a lot. Risk of Rain 1 is this cool, like side-scrolling, like really nice detailed pixel artwork. Everything looks very like polished and fun. And then Risk of Rain 2, I remember when they announced it originally, they were like, hey, we're going to do a 3D game. And I'm like, you're fucking joking, right? Like, this isn't going to work. It works. It works incredibly well. It is giving me the same kind of feelings that I did whenever I played the original Risk of Rain.
That's what I was about to say. Like, from playing Risk of Rain 1, like, when you jumped into, even though, like, it kind of like, it's 3D, a little different, but like, you're like, but I know what's going on here. Yeah,
totally. It feels it like the control and everything definitely is different. And that takes a little bit of getting used to for like your character mobility and like how your characters feel and shoot. But it still like as a game totally feels like the original Risk of Rain. They've kind of fucking nailed it. It's still, I think, technically early access. I'm playing it on PS4. Which is, I think, in a patch or two behind of the PC version, which is the one that they're just kind of like beta testing or whatever. There's a few characters that are in the PC version that are not in the new one or on the console versions. But also, one thing I completely forgot to mention that is basically the Risk of Rain thing is Risk of Rain is a little bit different from other roguelikes in that it's not really difficult for the sake of being difficult. Like you were rewarded for getting through levels quickly because the longer you stay anywhere or the longer your run takes, the difficulty is actually like going to scale higher over time. Ooh. So you're rewarded for like figuring out like, okay, each level is procedurally generated, but you still understand that this typically spawns here, or this is how the flow of this world usually tends to go, or this is how I can get through these group of enemies. And it like rewards you for getting through that stuff quicker, fighting the boss quicker, getting done, and then like moving on. So if you clear the first level very quickly, that second stage, which might have just fucking destroyed you whenever you first started out, might be significantly easier because you are still, your time slot is still in the like easy range as opposed to the medium or hard or very hard or whatever. That all has not changed for Risk of Rain 2. It's fucking daunting. It's incredibly hard. Most of my runs have been on like the easy difficulty, which there's like 3 difficulties you can pick on top of the one that goes up over time. It's hard. Also, I haven't figured out if there is like an actual end game yet. It'll get to a point where it's literally you just keep looping back around in circles until you die or decide to end your run. Which I don't know if that is a byproduct of them doing early access. There is a trophy on the PS4 version that is like, hey, clear 20 levels in a single run, which is bullshit. Like I have gotten to 15. Like that is one of the hardest trophies, I think, for that game. Maybe I'm just bad at this game.
No, that just sounds like one of those BS achievements. Take that one to court.
It's a great game. I'm really, really, really enjoying it. I bought it because I'm like, I want something to play on my console. Then I'm like, oh, well, shit, this is on Switch, but I'm playing it on PS4. Highly recommend anybody who likes roguelikes. The music is just this fucking kick-ass, like, prog synth, like, kick-ass, just fuck-yeah space opera music. It's great. The art style is really cool. The game also doesn't really tell you much of anything, but if you play a lot of roguelikes, you kind of expect that. You just pick up an item and it's like, okay, cool. It'll tell you what it does, and then you just have to remember what it does. But it's cool. I'm really digging it. It's very hard to keep track of if you watch it for more than like 15 minutes. But I've had some runs because there's just so much shit going on. Like, you know how the first one got, where you can like just pick up, you just get so many items that everything that you do does like 30 other things. Like, oh, I shot this gun and now it's shooting out a missile. And then I'm also doing arc lightning from my chest for whatever reason. But I also have like 4 double jumps, and
my missile has guns. No.
Right, exactly. Like, oh, well, I'm an engineer, so I have 2 turrets, but those turrets also get all the same items that I have. So it gets wild. And it's just incredibly satisfying. I really, really like that game a lot. I could keep talking about it for years, but I feel like roguelikes, you should play Risk of Rain too. Like, full stop. Anybody who's listening, check it out.
I might have to.
That's my rant.
And that's what the show is for. That's great.
Great.
So to kind of like counteract that one, I mean, like extremely on the other edge. Yeah, I'm going to switch stuff around here. So yeah, I accidentally streamed 5 hours of Farming Simulator 19.
Hell yeah.
Ask me anything. Go for it. Audience, I don't care.
Great.
Like, I mean, first question.
What did you farm? First question. Why?
Yeah, that is the first question. I don't know.
Okay, great.
I don't know. Like,
I mean, I've been there. I get it.
I got a group of friends. Like, we love those monotonous games. Like, God, what did we play the other day? I already forgot. It's that Factory one, not Factoro. Not Factory. It's a 3D one.
Oh shit! I know what it's called. A friend of mine's really into it. Yes, Satisfactory. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, so we like stuff like that. We like stuff where we build stuff, and I don't know. We just got into Farm Simulator, man.
I mean, I get it.
Well, great.
I get it, man.
It's free on Epic Game Store right now, so it's kind of what prompted this.
Sure.
And and not only that, we had a friend that's like really into it that jumped on it. We haven't seen it in a while. And we're all like, yeah, man, it's great. It's free. It's like, except for me. I actually paid for this. I'm like, oh.
Well,
there we go. But yeah, so we didn't quite farm that much. We actually were loggers. Like, we were...
All right.
Our friend kind of was our, farming... Sure. I don't know if it makes sense, but... basically, like, he's like, oh, yeah, logging's a good way to get money to start off. You basically, like, log a land... You buy a piece of land, cut all the trees down, sell those logs, you get money, and you start making your farm. Great. I know, it's great. It's all great. It's something so peaceful about that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I had a truck that, like, grabs the logs, then, like, cuts them down, spits them out. It's just like, I'm like, yeah. And then, like, I had a friend that had a crane, picks the logs up, put them in a trailer. Then I started, like, lining them up with them. It's like, it's good. We're doing some work.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And we're going to take this volume down here a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit.
Just going to hang out here with y'all.
Yeah.
No, man, I totally get it. I totally understand that. Like, there's something really satisfying about stuff like that. And I know you mentioned, like, Satisfactory. Like, that game is very much clearly built on doing that is a cool, like, it's just very satisfying to, like, put it all together, see it all run.
Yeah.
And, like, with Farming Simulator, that stuff very much to me feels like, well, I just want to hang out and just do some relaxing farms, just do some menial task stuff. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's why I play Stardew a lot. Like, that's my, like, decompress from everything game.
Not only that, like, it kind of takes, like, you have to learn how to use the equipment because, like, it is a simulator, as it says. Like, you have to learn how to, like, operate the crane, get this in the right way, make sure it's, like, it has to line up right. And then, like, actually, Farming Simulator 19, I'm not a huge, farming sim, guru or anything like that. But 19, like, it's super easy to mod. Like, they support it. There's an area just for mods, which gets you to a website. If somebody's playing with a mod, like, you check it out. It'll tell you which one you doesn't have. You click a link. It'll give you the page right for it. You download a mod, just keep it in the zip folder, and you just drop it into a mod folder that's already on your profile. And there you go. You got a mod.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so one of our friends who's play well, he got like something that like auto loads logs and always puts him off. And I never seen the spirit of a man break so hard because my friend that likes to crane truck to pick up the logs, there are just no logs for him to pick up. He's like, man,
it's a damn shame.
It's like I don't feel accomplished anymore.
He took away my only joy in life.
Yeah, he's like, man, guys, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm like, wow.
Hey, man, like if you want to log and you can't log, like, you know,
I know.
Yeah, that was a sentence that I said.
Yeah, the sad part is, I was like, I was actually getting some traction off this stream, and my friend's like, oh, well, now you're a farming simulator streamer. I'm like, oh no.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
We're not against people who are that, but I'm not that type of gamer. I just can't. So yeah, it was a thing. Oh god, it's probably gonna happen again this weekend. We'll see.
Yeah, that's one of those games that you like play once and you're like, okay, yeah, I might stick with this. I played it a little bit longer than I thought it'd be done for a little bit, and then like 6 weeks later, you're like in like way too deep. You have like guides bookmarked on your fucking Chrome. Like I have been there.
It's great. We have a community and like you have a friend. It's like, I'll leave the server up. You'll log in anytime and work on some stuff if you want.
Yeah.
Just, it's good to go.
Just, hey, I'm gonna just, I've had a friend like leave their Switch on so that I could play Stardew on the farm that we had together.
It
was great.
Multiplayer Stardew.
Granted, like I would have to go to bed and their character would just stand there and pass out every day. But I was still able to contribute to the farm whenever they were like, I don't fucking want to play this right now. I'm like, cool, you're not playing your Switch. Boot it up, let's go.
Just leave it there.
It's
fine. I haven't done co-op like Stardew yet. I need to try that.
It's fun. It is fun. I think it works really well with people in the same room. But also, like, if you just like want to hop into like a Discord call, somebody be like, "Hey, what's up, loser? We're gonna start a farm. Get in. We're going logging." And like, that it's fun. It's just like this little activity you can just do with a friend. Like, it's very much the same thing of like a farming simulator where you can like, I'm gonna get in here, I'm gonna log this shit, and it's gonna be great. All I do in Stardew is just sit there and fucking fish all day because nobody seems to like the fishing minigame except for me.
Okay.
So I just like, I'm like. Just hit summer and I have like a fishing level of 8 or 9 already because that's all I do. And that game will let you do it. It's great.
Understand. Great. Respect. Yeah. Oh man, that's good farming talk. Good farming game talk. Right, I am from Kansas, so makes sense. Now, are you on the? Never mind. We're not gonna go there. Okay, so what is something you are playing right now? What's something else? We got a good list. So.
Yeah, so I jumped in a little bit to Legends of Runeterra, which is the League of Legends card game. They're in like an open beta right now. It's free to play. Justin almost made a political joke without me being on the show. That's hilarious, Josh. I played Hearthstone a lot. And I don't feel good about it. I played that game every day for like 3 years. Like, it was a actual genuine problem for me. And so I just watched, I think I was watching a Giant Bomb stream, and they were like, hey, this is Legends of Runeterra. And the moment I saw like the cards hit the table, I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. And so I just immediately downloaded it and launched it. And it's fun. I really enjoy it.
I stay away from card games, but like, I like them. And I don't admit... Like, right off the back, like, I look at him like, that's not for me. But,
sure.
Well, I mean, let's go down, man. It's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Kazakh. God, he got me. Final Fantasy VIII got me. Yep. Of course, Witcher 3, Gwent. I spent most of that game playing Gwent.
Yeah, no, I get it. Same here.
There's this action RPG in the way. I just want to play Gwent, dude.
Yeah, just give me a fucking card game. But if you launch a card game, it won't do well. Yeah,
they did. It's not the same, but whatever.
Yeah, right. I really like it. I don't know if you've played much of Hearthstone or if
I got some familiarity with it.
So it feels like a good, healthy mix between Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone.
Okay.
where it's got the kind of accessibility that really drew me into Hearthstone.
Yeah.
The thing that always turned me off to Magic was I fucking hate the mana system in Magic. I just cannot wrap my head around it. The fact that you can just fucking not be on the same level as your opponent just because you didn't draw a card, which I know is how card games work. Don't yell at me. I don't like that aspect of it very much.
Yeah, no,
and this
if I
one
remember right,
is
Hearthstone, you kind of get action points per turn that build up.
So yeah, every turn you would gain like an additional mana that you can get. And so Legends of Runeterra functions the exact same way, but the combat is a little bit more strategic in that it's got the block system from Magic. So you can, if you have a minion on the field and your opponent is attacking you, then you can be like, okay, I want this one to intercept this hit, so that those enemies engage in combat instead of you just tanking hits to the face. I'm really enjoying it. It hasn't clicked as much as Hearthstone did whenever that first dropped, and I really got into it.
Gotcha.
I'm really worried about whenever it hits mobile, because I know I'm going to install it. But right now it's just PC. Thank God. But I don't have any sort of experience with like the League of Legends lore. I didn't have any experience with Warcraft at all before I started playing Hearthstone. But the gameplay enough is like able to keep me around in a pretty good way. I like the progression aspect of it a whole lot. I don't really feel like the problem with Hearthstone that has become more evident over time to me has been, well, you know, you're just essentially giving them money for a chance to get a card, which I know that's how card games work. But this one has, it's more similar to Magic Arena or Magic Online or whatever it's called now. Where
I just
there
had
are
a flashback to something that I don't know why I watched it.
Go ahead.
Tazon Day.
Yes.
Used to stream.
He did. Yes.
Just opening packs of Hearthstone cards and his reactions to them and his commentary with it.
Yeah,
it was
great. I watched them. Oh, they were great. Oh, they were great. Oh, and that dude, and just like he wore his fucking suit and he was at his standing desk the whole time. Loved that. Oh man, what happened to that dude? He just kind of disappeared again.
He used to follow me for a bit. I don't know why. Well, it's one of those things. I think he's like, let's see, a big, like someone that got a big following, just like basically follow everybody else, hoping to get that follow back. But
sure,
it hung on for a while and then it let go, and that's when I unfollowed him. So I don't know.
So it's your fault, is what you're saying.
Like that's like this was new to Twitter. I'm like, I knew a Tazon Day, Chocolate Rain all the way, and I was like, oh my god, Tazon Day follows me, and I wore that badge for a while. I mean, Josh can talk about that. And then he just didn't one day, but then I was like, oh, I got these other cool friends. Who cares?
Yeah, that's right.
That's how it works. So yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
The thing that I really dig is it got what they call a wild card system, where you can essentially, as part of the like chests that you unlock and get by like progressing, like you're leveling up in the game, sort of battle pass-ish, but really it's just like, hey, play games, get experiences, complete quests. Once you have enough experience, you hit this level gets you this chest, stuff like that. But you literally can just give them money to get these wild cards, and the wild cards function where if you have a champion rarity, which is their like top rarity, it's equivalent to like a legendary rarity in Hearthstone. If you have a champion wild card, you can just like cash that in for any champion rarity card, which is awesome. And right now, at least from what I saw, I didn't look too deep into it, those are the only things you can buy is those wild cards. So you're able to know what you are actually putting your money towards, which is so nice. It's great. If you like card games, I would recommend giving it a shot. It's free to play.
Gotcha. And you know what? I do play card games. Well, I play games that are card games at heart, but disguise themselves as something else. Like,
sure.
Yeah, I'm in a Dragon Ball kick, so I'm playing Dragon Ball Legends on mobile right now. Like, I dropped off it, and it was Kakarot coming out. Like, I'm back into the Dragon Ball mood. So I'm starting to play it again. I'm trying to get, like, the good character cards and stuff like that. You know, it plays like a fighting game. Except, it's the weirdest ad for. I'm gonna pull it up right now. I think it literally says, if you like go to the App Store, look down, it's like, see who's the strongest with one finger. I don't know how to take that.
That's
ways.
Not a good. That's a bad marketing pitch. That's not great. I mean, or maybe it's a good marketing pitch, like clearly talking about it.
Depends on the audience. But yeah, I guess. Okay, so if people haven't notice, I mean, who would? Who pays attention to me? My room's a little different. My walls are a little greener.
It's very green, yeah.
Yeah, I used to have, I meant to talk to this at the top of the show, I completely redid my computer room. Like, for some reason, I had my stuff on the right side, which wasn't right against the wall. It just didn't make sense. It's hard to get that stuff. So now my computer monitors are all like kind of like against the corner of the wall with a desk at the right. So like if I put, anything I want to stream, but the consoles and stuff and hook it up there, I got like an extra for that. And then like, I used to, at my old apartment, to make a cheap green screen, I just went to Walmart. I hadn't cut some green cloth.
Great.
I saw they had top molding or whatever like that, and I just clamped it to it. It worked.
Hey, whatever works, man. Like, I respect it. I
try to do it here. It didn't cover that much. I'm always like positioning the camera. Like, no, it's too much. It's
awesome.
So small. So I just this is back when I was actually trying to do a Halloween costume, even though I didn't do anything for Halloween. But I strolled through Party City and I looked. I'm like, kiwi tablecloth covers. It's in a roll.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
I didn't get back around to it until recently, and I finally I bought a roll. It's like $15. I got some green painter's tape, and here it is. Like,
great.
It works so well
it's
too.
It's very green.
Very green. It looks very patchy.
It is technically correct.
By the way, don't put it up by yourself. People, don't do stuff by yourself. I was like, oh, this can't be so bad. And like 3 hours later, I'm like, oh my god. It's there though. It works.
Yeah, I get it.
Streams
one
look
of
good.
my old one of my college classrooms that we had back at university. We had this big shooting studio, and literally they just fucking painted 3 walls out of this giant room, just green screen ass green. And I'm like, yeah, honestly, that nailed it. They nailed it. Like it worked great.
Oh, the great thing about this too, if like I tear a tablecloth, I just put a patch of green paper.
Right, yeah, just get some like green tape or something, yeah.
Yeah, but it's literally a roll. I still have like over half the roll left. It was fantastic.
Great, yeah.
It's all done less than $20.
Yeah.
Less than $20. I had like a full studio size green screen.
Rules. That objectively rules.
And it works. Now I just got to figure out how to like market this and actually have people use it and pay me for it. And
yeah.
Green screen, question mark, profit.
Don't tell them about the $15 thing.
No,
so you spend a lot more.
I'm like, this is a very expensive studio.
You can edit that out. You can edit this part out of the podcast, right? Yeah.
I'm too lazy.
All right. Well,
I mean,
never mind.
If they made it this far, that is their reward for sticking with us.
Yeah.
But no, I will not timestamp this or edit it out.
Yeah. Good.
Because who has time for that? But yeah, anyways.
God, that's true.
Redid my room, actually cleaned it, because I've been here for a year, and it's like, this is the room nobody stays in. No, Josh, I'm not editing this. Sorry, that's a comment. So I just threw like all these boxes that had all my like random crap in it, just laid out here. And like, if you see some of my streams, you can like see them in the corner, like piled up. I'm like,
Yeah.
Finally cleared it out. Finally. Except the side of the wall, but that's on purpose. And the reason, I thought about doing kind of like a setup, but like I got a Valve Index and I want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to redo it because I want to let my brother use my Index. Let him play. With Restream, I use this Vader Immortal stuff. Anyways, he was doing lightsaber training, punched the wall, broke my controller.
Great.
Like, it's nice. That's just $160.
Yeah, that's a cheap controller, right?
Shout out to Steam. They took care of me.
Great. That's good.
Got me another one.
That's good.
Or repaired it, which probably just means they got me another one. But anyways,
honestly,
I got the more clear. I reset up my VR space. The boxes are there, so I don't punch the windows. I'll no longer punch my mic because I was playing Gorn. And I hit the crap out of like my mic looks sad after. Wow.
Oh, that's like my worst nightmare because like I don't have a VR headset, but I have a lot of friends that do, and I am always super fucking self-conscious about like, oh, I'm gonna hit something or somebody. Like I'm just like playing Beat Saber, just getting into it, and then just like I don't know, like knock somebody out or like hit a child or something. Like I'm just always really concerned about that. Like, and I also don't want to break their stuff. Like they put money into it.
I want
to
get it to a convention, room empty. I'm like, hey, yo, come in here. try this Oculus Quest, maybe. Set up a big area. Then all of a sudden, let people flood that room. Like, is before a line before a panel, and just see what happens.
Oh, that is terrible. That is awful. Are you joking?
How long until they stop?
I went to this.
Sorry, kids.
I was at a like a local like esports convention because I was helping a friend of mine put on a fighting game tournament, and there was just this kid like with an Oculus Quest just playing Beat Saber, fucking crushing it. Like, dude was getting into it. Like, I'm like, hell yeah, kid. Like, this kid maybe was like 10 or 11, but like fucking out there with the confidence of like a 40-year-old man who just does not give a fuck. And he was just crushing it, just nailing all these notes. And like, it was neat that all of his friends like expected that from him because they like handed it to him and you saw him put it on and they all just took like 4 steps backwards.
It's like, he's getting
They're like, we know what's about to happen. But it was awesome. It was really cool. And it's also like, nice to see that they weren't gonna fuck with him, you know? Because my friends would absolutely like, oh, I'm gonna put this table right here where your hand's gonna go. Ha ha ha.
He wasn't that mean, but it's one of my previous apartments where roomie, like, I'll play PSVR, just having a time of my life.
Yeah.
And then I take the thing off, and they're like bread or bananas stacked on my desk.
That's awesome. See, I like that because it's harmless. Like, nobody's getting hurt. Like, that's hilarious. If I were to do like VR, so I live in a building with 2 people that I also know who are like neighbors essentially, and like if I were to like leave my door unlocked and to like just play VR, and I were to just like take it off, and there were just a bunch of shit lying around in my apartment, I would cry laughing. That would be so funny.
Yeah, the biggest fear.
If you're listening, please do not do this.
Or the biggest thing I'm saying is like, oh man, it's gonna be terrible when everybody's in VR and there's like in trance and someone comes and robs their place, but leaves them alone.
Yeah, there's like, what's going on here? Like,
and they just take the headset off and they don't have anything except whatever's.
That's also a rational.
Yeah, like I check my locks before I start VR.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Anyways, I was saying all that to say this. I played some VR games this week.
Yeah, cool, great. VR games, video games, right?
Yeah. One I like bought a while ago. Catch and release fishing game.
Great.
Awesome fishing game, actually. Like, it is so relaxing. Because I kind of wanted to get one, even though I'm not a big fishing guy. But I like to play fish. I mean, you can relate Stardew fishing.
Yeah, like I am a sucker for a good fishing mini game. Like, it's one of my favorite things.
But this one is a fishing all the game.
Great.
Now, I tried fishing.
One of the first games I ever had on the PlayStation was a fishing game, and I played way too much of it.
Oh, dude.
I think it might have been called like Real Fishing, but like REEL.
That makes sense.
I don't fucking remember.
That's the thing, I think.
It was fun. I don't think it's good, but I mean, none of them are.
Super Nintendo that I was like so psyched about because like you had a boat, which was like my boat on Super Nintendo that you control a vehicle. And
this one was literally just like the action of throwing, like you just like picked a spot and pressed X, and it just like a 3D fucking bobber would throw out on this clearly just painting that is just the background, and it was
so it's like a Final Fantasy VII like static image.
Yeah, you're basically fishing on like a Final Fantasy boss,
pre-rendered,
pretty much. Yeah,
nice. But yeah, that's not real fishing. Or sorry, I catch a release. So I tried Fishing Simulator, but as the name hints, it's a fishing simulator, and it's not that great. Mainly so because like. That was like they have a VR version, but it was, you know, when you like go see a movie that claims it's in 3D, but it wasn't developed for 3D. Like,
yeah, it's like clearly they just put some stuff in for it. Like, oh, we're gonna
a little bit of depth,
make the hammer fly a little bit faster, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like that with VR, and when you kind of like adapt games that are not VR originally for it. Few games do it well, like Resident Evil 7 did it well because they're developing for both VR, which is surprised they haven't released on PC, it's just PSVR. But it feels like they kept VR in mind while they were designing that, and it worked really well. But some games, it's just like, it just ports over, it doesn't control well, doesn't take advantage of everything you could do, and they kind of leave it there. Catch and Release, it is completely designed for VR with the controllers and everything. And it's relaxing, like you don't walk around, you're just in a rowboat. In a rowboat,
Great.
you gotta you look to your left. You got a lunchbox with sandwiches if you want them. You push the reels to the right. You got some books. You got a radio. It's good stuff, man. You just
that sounds chill as hell. Like,
it is.
I could use that right now. Like in real life, I'm so tired.
It's so great. And if you are so tired in the game, you can buy a sleep mask. I don't know what to tell you yet because I haven't got that money, but it's a thing. And then
falling asleep with VR on just feels really dystopian. Like there's something about that that's not great.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it though. I have to try it out. But yeah,
please report back.
You leisure as hard or as leisure. No, sorry. You fish as leisurely or as hard as you want. There is a book with objectives if you want to follow them, but you don't have to.
Good.
Just cast your line, row your boat, whatever you want to do. Some good music on, and just relax, dude.
That sounds good.
That's all you do.
Some light Spanish guitar, just the wind blowing.
There's a channel for that. It's great.
Great.
But yeah, it was a fantastic experience. Like I was like, let me try this out real quick, see what it's like, because it was on sale. That's how I do my VR. Like game I'm interested in, not till it's on sale. It's on sale. Yeah, I'll try it out now.
I've already spent enough money on the headset itself.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was cool. But the other thing I did actually pay more money for, did find it on sale actually, but it is a new game, just came out. I was not expecting this to be good. The Walking Dead, what was it? Saints and Sinners. Holy crap, this game. It is really good.
Okay, cool. I was like, is that a good holy crap?
It is, because there's the Walking Dead Telltale thing, up there. People love it. And there's the other ones that are just...
They're just very bad. They're just not... Yeah.
No, this is amazingly good. Of course, first person, yada yada yada, has melee in it along with guns. It feels like a first person Last of Us.
That's interesting.
Because you actually have to go around, it's not like you just pick up stuff. You have to scavenge around and then you have to recycle that to get parts and you can build more things. But you also have objectives as you're going through. But you kind of freely roam the area. It's set up. It's not open world, but it's as in with a connected map. But it's like hub worlds. You have this one area which actually story stuff does take place in, but it's also your home base, and that's where you can go craft. That's where you can go recycle. That's where you can put some stuff in a chest if you want to, and then either by an objective or if you just want to go scavenge, you pick a place you want to go. You go there. You do what you got to do, and when you go into town, basically, there is a sleep mechanic, which you just go to the back of the bus and there's a flask. You drink until you pass out. Then you wake up, it's daytime. The reason you want to do that is there's actually a timer on each level that, once it... kind of if people play Dying Light, the mechanic of when it turns dark, things get just hard as crap. Yeah, more zombies come out. Cool. And they are hungry if you stay too late. Your watch will start ringing, you'll hear bells toll. You're that's the time you get out there. And God, I hate using this word for combat because it's just there, but it's so visceral.
Yeah.
But no, it does now it's not like you just get a weapon, you're good to go. It is kind of like the Breath of the Wild style, things are going to break. And they last pretty good. It depends what it is. And of course, as you upgrade stuff, you can make them stronger, but it's more you're using stuff until it gets used out and you use the next thing. But for melee weapons, you start off with small knives or screwdrivers, and the only way to kill these zombies is you gotta hit that brain. So you have to do one jab to get it in there, then another one to get it fully. And then you can grab the zombie, hold them, then jab, sneak up, do the jab, and then when you're in there, it's stuck. You actually have to put your hand, hold the zombie, then pull out.
That is gross, but yes,
it's gross out of context too.
Yeah, it is.
And then they have guns in the game as well. Decent, as good as shooting mechanics as you can get in shooting games. Pretty cool. Wow, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. It does a cool thing too, because I love games that kind of do a little bit of realism with the ammo. In other words, when you jump to mag, you lose that ammo in there.
Yeah.
So it does that in The Walking Dead, but the mag actually hits the ground. So if you pick it up, you can actually add it back to your ammo belt, and whatever left in the mag will add back to your ammo. I think it's kind of a cool way to balance it out.
That is cool. Yeah, I know some other games that have done that. The moment that mag just like drops out of it. It's like, well, you're fucked. Sorry, you just lost like 6 bullets or whatever.
Yeah, and this one does that, but you can recover it if you really want to.
That's cool. Yeah.
So
that's neat. It seems like that stuff has been thought out in a way that, like you were saying, is like very clearly designed for VR. Like It would be very easy to just be like, hey, we're just going to make a game where you kill zombies in first person and just like throw the Walking Dead name on it. And honestly sell pretty decently because like the people who love that game, they love that series, fucking love that series.
And like this is just totally not phoned in. This feels like a completely different game. Like
that's
a
awesome.
Fully developed game and then they attach The Walking Dead onto it, which I love when things do that. Like other places, like for instance, Mad Max. Who expected Mad Max to be a good game?
Right. Yeah. That was like towards the tail end, I think, of whenever, like that was like the last big like licensed game that I heard about where I'm like, oh, this is going to be fucking terrible. And for some reason, like right after that, the licensed games that came out after that, at least the ones that like made sort of a splash, were like, oh no, this is pretty fucking cool. Or like, this is something we asked for.
Yeah. It's like, we're not back in the PS2, Xbox 360.
Right.
Like
it was like kind of coming out of that.
Like it of course, some gems, like very few licensed games you can actually say were great. Like Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay, amazing game. This is up there with it as far as like amazing, just licensed type game. It's just really cool. I didn't get like I played a little bit, and also top of that, dude. Like from the little bit I played, and from when all the points in the map that I can't go to yet, but I can see will unlock. This is like a fully fledged, full length VR game as well. It's not one of those you're just going to be in there a couple hours. Your experience is done. No, this is something that's going to take some time, and I got to play a little bit of it. Got to play a little bit of first level, which was my first time scavenging. So pretty much, I got into the, the gritty world once. And on top of like missions that you have in there, because like it starts off like it's not like, oh, you're going in there to clear us up. No, you're just a traveler, but you happen on the dude tells you about the spot. He tells you where to meet up at, where this is like amazing cache of weapons, food, and all that, and that's your whole goal. It's like that'd be kind of cool to get. And by happenstance, things happen, but you come on a dude's camp. Now it's kind of yours. Walking Dead, dude dies. And it starts off basic. It's like, hey, he has a radio. I need to get this working. That's what you go in first to get some parts for. But while you're in there, you'll actually find some NPCs along the open worlds. Like once, like a wife, her husband turned. All she could do is just close the door, lock it, ran away. But she wants it to be put down. Would like to ring as memento. So that's kind of like your first in-world mission that I got. Yeah. And there's also, I'm hoping it is as it looks. Like there are like dialogue choices that are very like polarizing from each other. From a nice, calm, I'm hero. Yeah, I'll do this. To just fuck you, I ain't going in there. Is actually a little response in that game. That you could be the gruff guy that's like, I'm just out for myself. I don't care about any of you. And to the point, and one that's just like try to be that hero, try to do it again, help people, or you could do a mix of it too. I'm not sure how that's going to play out in the game yet. You could also
it'd be interesting to know. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, you could do it through the main story too. And I wonder if I actually cut out a like main story dialogue because like I was messing with the dude. It's like, who are you? I'm like, I don't know, who are you? Like it was like we're just going back and forth instead of just like straight up telling them everything about me.
Right.
I played it safe. And you got to points like, I don't like this anymore, man. I'm hanging this up. I might call you later or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like there's this interesting dialogue system in there, which I'm curious how much the story branches out, if it does. But if actually story-wise, and with the danger dialogue, like it feels like a first person, if the Telltale like Walking Dead game was a first person game and more action and stuff like that, that's pretty much what this is.
Cool.
But in VR too.
Cool. Yeah, I liked that little side quest that you mentioned about like going and finding the husband and like taking care of him and like putting him down because he turned. Like that little world building is it's a cool thing that goes a long way for something like this where people do know.
Oh, I was going to say there's more into that too. Like when you get there, it's not just he's there, he's a zombie. Spoilers for the first side quest you can get.
It's fine. Go ahead.
You go in there, there's like actually notes that pick up lore and lore of the world. Because like in this area, like this is a Walking Dead, but in like, well, that's I keep mixing up, but Saints and Sinners is in New Orleans. And there's like a group that's like huddle at the tower. There's this group that wears like crazy like cult type mask. Like there's actually factioning humans to like against each other, so which are going to become a point to you fight against them or side with them in a game later on. Anyways, there's world building stuff for that, but also like when I got to the dude, saw him as a husband, like saw him come at me, killed him, got a shrink, was like cool, looked down, found a note by like 2 bodies that are covered up, and he talks about like how he feels bad. He's like sorry for his wife, and he's like he pretty much told how he killed his 2 kids because he thought they were turning before he turned.
Gotcha.
And then when you go back to the wife, you can kind of tell her, it's like, hey, is he okay? He's like, he was a good man, or he killed both your kids.
Yeah.
You can share that information if you want to with her. So yeah, just like a ton of just in
that little like tiny world building of like small, complete, like objectively like fucked up story. Like I think that goes a long way in something like that, like where like you can get like attached to like the main thing or like all that stuff, but if you're going to have this big world to go be in, you totally want to not necessarily feel like attached, but you want to feel like you're in this living world and like discovering these stories and like becoming a part of that. That's really cool that they're doing that for something that honestly, like we were saying, you would expect to be some sort of blatant cash grab because it's a Walking Dead game, and those historically have not been great after Telltale.
Yeah, Walking Dead, like, I honestly, is that it? Like, people care about it right now? Like, I don't know.
I think there is a bunch of people who still do. I don't know any of them, but that show's still on the air. So, or maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't pay attention. So.
Yeah. The weird advertising too, like, you know, and Death Stranding. It happens to have Norman Reedus, but yeah, it's a weird dystopian future crazy. Let's advertise AMC Ride because that makes sense. So none of that. It's like it is. You're in the Walking Dead world. As far as I know, you don't run in. I don't know if it's going to like mix with different storylines yet or not. But I'm not like into the
or like run into like the characters from the shows, stuff
or
like
the
that,
show or graphic novels or anything like that.
Yeah,
I'm not,
right.
I know enough about the shows up to Negan. I haven't like how to fell off after that, so I'm not sure if it's going to intersect with any of that. But it just feels like it is the Walking Dead world you're in, just as a different part that hasn't been discovered yet. Yeah. So I'm really excited to play more of that this weekend. I'll probably try to stream it. But yeah, we'll see, man.
That sounds rad. Yeah, that is really cool. Whenever I saw you put a, so I was like, oh boy, all right, well, okay. But now I'm like, no, this sounds fucking cool. Like I'm pretty into that, and it sounds like the execution is like pretty well done.
Extremely well done. Oh god, it's so good too. Like when you put a bandage on, you actually have to like put it there, then you see it attached to your wrist. Do you have to like work it around?
That's cool.
It's stuff like that I love in VR. Like
that's like, great. Yeah, like like little things like that have always really. I'm fucking stoked for Half-Life Alyx just because like of that little clip of them just like shoving shit over on that bookshelf. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Great. That's all you had to do to sell me.
Which also with Boneworks too, which I'm not going to have to stream that too. It's a game that I think is actually something that tech is in Half-Life Alyx, but it's one of those like very physics based. Even puzzles in that game too, which is pretty awesome. Also, like with games like this, like I love. Like, you know, I'm not huge for like guns components or stuff like that, but like I do enjoy the art of shooting a gun, if that makes any sense, or the just for like the accuracy and stuff like that too. And in games, I love gun accuracy, like as far as like how the gun operates. There's some games that do like extremely well. Some are just like, oh, here's the eject button, push it. Boneworks actually does it weird. Like you have to put a mag up to it to clip, other mag will drop, and then you click it in and pull back. But I've seen some games like there's a button to like drop the mag out. You still have one in the chamber. You can load another one and you're still good. Or you can pop it out. Bullet pops up. Like, it's fully interactive. And I love when VR games pay that much attention to detail to the stuff you can use in a game. And it's like simple stuff like I have to actually wrap a bandage around my arm.
Right. Yeah. And like the moment that you think you can do something, but it turns out you actually can't, is the moment that you're just completely taken out of.
Exactly.
Like, the fact, like, anytime there is, like, playing some sort of VR game where, like, maybe there's something on a desk next to you or something, and you want to fuck with it, because that's what I would do. Exactly. You just, like, go and reach down to it, and you can't do anything with it, you're like, game. Like, this is not, like, this cool experience that I'm having.
God, I'm going to bring back my VR
it's hard.
idea. It's so cool.
Yeah, it is hard. Like, that seems... I I can't comprehend developing a regular game, but like developing in VR just seems to me like a completely whole other fucking animal. And it's game developers are fucking wizards, and like I feel like VR developers are fucking archmages. Like it's absolutely insane to me.
I wonder how that goes. Like if you've ever played with something, does somebody just reaches out like, "Did you try to interact with that? Do something." Like, because I gotta
let the teacup go.
I got a kind of flight sim game, VTOL, but like literally like every switch does something.
Yeah.
It's not like it's like it is a flight sim as in like you have to properly start the engine. Like you have to turn on the power, turn on the auxiliary, start engine 1, engine 2. After everything revs up, you can turn off the auxiliary. Like it's that detailed. Or I had like a mech game I played that has like, God, my dream game right now is like a Gundam VR game that's done proper that you're in the cockpit.
Great. Yeah, I'm very into that.
But like to talk to people is like a CB radio. You actually grab it and start talking into it. And then I
cool.
realized like not only that, like it tracks when you're saying stuff in your head, and there's actually like a little face that pops up, and like it's just like somebody's talking to you.
That's cool. That's neat.
The first thing I did with when I was playing with my friend, started doing Star Fox. Like he just sit there, I was like grabbing it on my face, I'm like blah 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 blah.
God, video games are so fucking cool.
They are so cool.
I'm never not impressed by the cool shit that games do and like allow us to experience. It's just fucking magic. Full stop.
God, truly. Dude, I'm spent.
Yeah, same. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh god, anything else you want to talk about, man? This is how the show works.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Like, I mean,
really, it's been those three.
I was gonna talk about news, but this is not really the show's story. You know, Dan Houser departs Rockstar. Rod Ferguson jumps
crazy,
from Gears or Diablo. Like, yada yada yada.
Yeah. I don't really have much on those.
Which is why I don't. That's how the show works too. I really don't put the news into it unless I really just like that's interesting. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, like that is some stuff that like okay, other websites and other podcasts that are way more knowledgeable about that are going to talk about it and to make better points than I will ever come up with. So I'm going to let them do it.
Pretty much. And also, that's a filler in case I'd run out of games to talk about, which
that's also completely fair.
Seem to be a problem.
Like, if we ran out of time, I would bullshit something about the news. No problem.
That's what it's there for. And sometimes we bullshit
other people
the news.
Would have way better takes.
Pretty much. So, yeah, I think we're going to wrap the show. I think it's a good...
Cool.
It's like, it's a new catch-all. Thank you for being a part of it. The start of it,
thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate it.
I realized I put, like, episode numbers on this, and I went back and, like, looked at all the episodes and realized I didn't put episode numbers on some of the other stuff, so I have no idea if episode 22 is correct. I might actually revert my name structure.
Great.
Anyways,
clean slate.
So, thank you for stopping in. Cam, where can people find you? What do you want to get out there right now?
You can find me on the Twitter.
Oh, yes.
I'm at the Camdyman. That's TheKamDyman. I post about pretty much everything that I'm working on or do or bad jokes on that Twitter account. I do a little bit of Twitch streaming, twitch.tv/Kam Konek, KAMKONEK. Mostly just roguelikes and Rock Band. That's kind of what I just jump around to. I might play a little bit of Halo. Who the fuck knows?
Dude, absolutely.
I don't really do it for anything in particular. It's just fun to play video games online and hang out with my friends.
Band, I realized I actually have the space to set it up.
Yeah, dude. Dude,
let's play Rock Band, man. What were you playing it on?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm playing on PS4.
Damn it.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that went out the window. And probably the biggest thing that I'm a part of right now is New Entertainment System podcast with my boy Nate, aka Two-Headed Giant. Go follow him; he's great. That is a show where we have a robot that is totally not a spreadsheet
at all.
Promise. Where it makes us fake video games, and we talk about them like we're pitching them to each other. Like some of our recent games have been like a fucking stealth Star Fox game, but it like morphed into this weird, like, okay, well, what if it's like the Animus from Assassin's Creed and you're actually an employee of Retro Studios and you're trying to get that fucking Star Fox Grand Prix game out there because we know it's fucking real. They've talked about it enough. And so like, that's a weird, it's a bad show. Don't listen to it.
It's a fantastic show, man.
It's a great show.
I mentioned like, y'all have some awesome guests on there.
Thank you. Yeah, we've had like, it is weird. Like all of the guests that we have, just like Nate and I talk about for like 10 minutes before our call. We're like, why the fuck would anybody want to do this with us? But no, it's a lot of fun. It gets very silly, and it always hits a point in the episode where we're like, fuck, we made this work, and now I'm just mad that this game doesn't exist.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can check that out. We're on Twitter at NESPod.
Like, it's fantastic evergreen content, pretty much.
Totally, yeah. We intentionally made it, like, quote, bingeable, as much as I fucking hate that term. It is not, like, tied to anything time-wise at all. You can just go through and listen to any episode, and, like, it's never gonna not be relevant, because it's not tied to, oh, well, this game just came out, or this game just got announced, or something like that.
Unless one of the games y'all mentioned does actually come out, and then...
God, we would freak out. Oh, that would be really fun. So yeah, that's you can just, my Twitter is really the best place to get a hold of me or find me or anything I'm working on. I'm usually pretty good about publishing anything that I work on there. And come for the content, stay for the bad jokes, or leave. Most people do.
Awesome. And with that, thank you all for joining us this week. The Catch All Gaming Podcast is live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. At this time, that might change. We'll see. But right here on Mixer.com/ConCalPod, that is also going to change, but it'll be a nice transition. We're on Facebook at Facebook.com. I can't wait to be done on Facebook. Twitter at ConCalPod. I'm Justin at Justin_Glorious. Check Instagram at Josh, God, I hope we're not doing all this stuff with the bear punch. Check Instagram at Instagram.com/ConstantlyCalibrating. Come chat with us on Discord at ConstantlyCalibrating.com/Discord. Watch YouTube at YouTube.com/ConCalPod. Drop us a review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe wherever you're listening, and at least one place you're not. Reviews do help us. They really do. People look at them like, oh, this is a legit guy. They'll give us
very
hugs.
true.
Sometimes
reviews help podcasts like fucking lifeblood. Like, honestly.
Oh man, gets me into places too, man. So many places.
Totally. Yeah, I remember that story.
And with that, God, I gotta change this tar to razzle dazzle wump wump till we catch you next time with a sign off delight. Goodbye, people.
Goodbye.